I love being a psych nurse practitioner. That's why I say, in as much as we talk about the money, there's got to be some love aspect towards the job. Like if you really, and there's something that people always say, if you love what you do, then you're really never, ever going to work a day in your life. And so, but if you are going to it because of the money, then you're really going to feel that workload. For example, when I talk about teaching or even just seeing patients as a nurse practitioner, I don't even feel like I work. Like I love listening to them. I love talking to them, and I love seeing them going from where they started with me to eventually being better. Like all of those things is what brings me joy as a nurse practitioner, and teaching my students, getting them from I don't know to I know a little bit to be able to take my board exams and to be able to practice. That is what gives me joy. And I don't feel like I'm working. I feel like I'm making a difference in someone's life. Yes, I get money for it, but again, I love what I do. And like I said, loving what you do is an important aspect of the job that you choose.
Your career journey sounds interesting when we talked yesterday. Can you share a little bit how you get started?
So as I've shared before on this podcast, I am a nurse practitioner right now, a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. And of course, the very start of my journey was as a certified nursing assistant, on the journey to become a nurse. Now, being a nurse to me, it's a calling, right? You need to actually love what you want to do. Now, when I started my journey, I didn't really think I wanted to be a nurse. Like I remember when I did my CNA class, which is like, again, a requirement to eventually be in the nursing program. I was taking care of this elderly man during my clinical. And at the end of the clinical, he called me and he was like, Sylvester, thank you so much for taking care of me. You're going to make a great nurse. Again, at that point, I wasn't sure about what I really wanted to do because, back in Africa, back in Cameroon, I didn't really grow up seeing a lot of male nurses. So, it wasn't a thing that I was considering in my career path. But when he told me that, it dawned on me like, if he said that, maybe it's something I can actually do. And to be honest with you, ever since I went on that path to become a nurse, I've loved it. I mean, I loved going through nursing school, even though it was a very stressful experience, but I love being a nurse right now. I love being a nurse practitioner. I love teaching nursing students. And my career path, you just got to love what you want to do. That's what's important. What I'll say is like a lot of people, when they come here, not just from Africa, even from other countries, and they have mentors here, they always tell them, go be a nurse. There's money in nursing. But it's important to understand that it's a calling. And if you don't really like being a nurse, you're not going to enjoy the job. And if you don't enjoy the job, you're going to get burnt out really fast. And that's something I just really like people to know. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess they say money does everything, right? I guess they say that, but
I do believe it depends on situations. Some people, some other people may be like, I don't care. I'll just do it for the money for now, and then maybe later on, I might do something that I really love.
But let's be honest, like when we talk about nursing, like, yes, people might want to do it for the money, but when I always ask anybody who is like, oh, I want to be a nurse, people that maybe I'm a little bit skeptical about whether or not they're going to make it as a nurse. Now, mind you, I will support everybody who wants to be a nurse, but it's important to ask those very critical questions. So I'm going to ask them, I'm going to be like, if a patient, maybe pukes on you, how are you going to take that? If a patient, becomes aggressive towards you, how are you going to take that? If a patient literally poops, and you have to clean it up, will you be able to do that? Like those are very.
It depends on how much you make.
No.
So if you make enough for you to be able to handle that, yeah, definitely I'll do that.
And I mean, these are not things that happen all the time, but if they eventually do happen, are you able to do it? And not just
not to interrupt you, but I don't think nobody enjoy like cleaning somebody else's poop. Right?
Of course not. Exactly. But like I said, there's a way to do it. Like you can do it.
Right.
I know. But like I said, there's a way doing it. Are you going to be doing it with love, or you're going to be doing it, in a way that's going to make the patient feel uncomfortable? That's the thing, because, there's something that we learn in nursing school about being a holistic nurse, which encompasses empathy. And what is empathy? Empathy is putting yourself in the patient's shoes, trying to understand their situation. Because are you empathetic about their situation when you're caring for them? Or are you just really doing it because of the money? Yes, I get it, okay? But money is not all that is, honestly. Money is not all that is. Money is important. I love money. Money is very important, but you also got to love the job.
That, yeah.
No, I mean, you also got to love the job, because, I mean, like I said, I'm a nurse that I've been puked on. I've been, to be honest with you, I've had patients that have made racist comments towards me. But again, I love my job. I love being a nurse. I love being a nurse practitioner right now. And those are the things that matter to me. Like I said in my previous podcast, and I say every day, making a difference in someone's life is my driving force. And so, irrespective of what you say to me, what you do to me, I still love my career as a nurse and as a nurse practitioner, of course. So, yeah.
That's really good. I love that, though. I love that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I know nowadays a lot of people do a career for mainly money. Of course, we all do it for money, but you still have to love it first. But honestly,
yes.
When it comes to that, I do think that it just depends on how much you get. Let's say if they give you a lot of money, I'm just put a number in it. They give you like 200K for you to be like cleaning up poops. Of course, nobody you do that easy, right? You say it's easy money, but right, yeah. I mean, I used to work as a caregiver. You know that, right? So
I know.
I have a little bit of experience. I've done that for like about 3 or 4 years. So I know what you're talking about when it comes to that. So, but of course, that's what I'm saying. For some people, like for myself, I wouldn't say I was enjoying that, but I like to help people. I was enjoying when I was helping them, but I wouldn't enjoy it in a certain level, right? So, but that's why
you're enjoying for the money. You're enjoying for the money.
Yeah, of course.
Because the money at that point.
I really needed the money at that point. So that's why I was, I kind of had to do it. That's why. But,
like I said, though, there's got to be a certain degree of love to it. And I'll give you another example. All right. I know I love money. All right. And there's so many different careers in nursing here in the United States. So many different specialties in nursing. There's so many different specialties in advanced practice nursing that you can do. Now, I know if I put my mind to any of those specialties, I can get it done. All right. And I'll give you an example. The highest paying nursing specialty in the United States as an advanced practice nurse is a certified registered nurse anesthetist. All right. That is a nurse who deals with anesthesiology. And they make at a base pay over $300,000 a year. Now, I already know the requirements to do that. And if I was all about the money, like, hey, I needed the highest paying nursing specialty, I would have gotten a job in the ICU, and I would have eventually gone on to be a CRNA, which is a nurse anesthetist. Now, that I don't like that job. I really don't. I know what they do. I know.
Why don't you like it?
Because I don't know. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I love being a psych nurse practitioner, even though they don't make as much as CRNAs, but I love being a psych nurse practitioner. That's why I say, in as much as we talk about the money, there's got to be some love aspect towards the job. Like if you really, and there's something that people always say, if you love what you do, then you're really never ever going to work a day in your life. And so, but if you are going to it because of the money, then you're really going to feel that workload. For example, when I talk about teaching or even just seeing patients as a nurse practitioner, I don't even feel like I work. Like I love listening to them. I love talking to them. And I love seeing them going from where they started with me to eventually being better. Like all of those things is what brings me joy as a nurse practitioner. And teaching my students, getting them from I don't know to I know a little bit to be able to take my board exams and to be able to practice. That is what gives me joy. And I don't feel like I'm working. I feel like I'm making a difference in someone's life. Yes, I get money for it. But again, I love what I do. And like I said, loving what you do is an important aspect of the job that you choose.
Yeah, you're right on that point. It's very important. So would you say you always knew that's what you wanted to do, or did things change along the way?
Well, like I said, for nursing, when I moved to the United States, I did not think I was gonna do a nurse. I was gonna do nursing. I didn't think I was gonna be a nurse. Actually, my I-20, which is the official document that you get issued. Your I-20 actually had medical lab science. That's what I came to study. But then I was playing a game with nursing at that point. Not until I actually started working as a CNA did I actually develop love for nursing. Now, the whole aspect of psych nursing is more so like I really developed love for psych nursing when I started working in a correctional facility. Now, a correctional facility is like a prison, a jail setting. And so when I started working there, talking to a lot of people who came in, who were arrested and came in and needed the medical care, when I started, digging deep into having deep conversations with them, finding out all the events that led them to where they are today, you know, a lot of a lot of things, a common ground with these individuals was mental health. And I'm not even kidding you. A lot of them went through adverse childhood experiences that in turn affected their mental health tremendously. And so it was an eye opener for me to consider pursuing a career in mental health. And also, of course, when my dad passed away in 2021, just me going through my own grief of losing my dad was also an eye opener. That was actually the icing on the cake for me to be like, hey, I really need to focus on doing some more research, pursuing my career in mental health, and making a difference in someone's life to improve their mental wellness. So those were all my driving forces. Like, everything happens for a reason, I'll say. And as you journey through life, you tend to find out what you're most passionate about. It's funny because a couple years ago, my best friend, I told him, I was like, I don't know how people even deal with people who go through mental health. We don't know how you even start with those individuals. But then now, seeing where I am today, I'm like, wow, I cannot see myself doing anything else besides working as a mental health provider. Being there for them, being a voice for them, advocating for these patients. Like, I am 100% committed to that.